How can something as beautiful as this be dying? A plague is ruining the land, but the tree of life still stands. Question is, for how long? End is coming to the new world. The tribes stand divided, in need of someone strong enough to unite them, or bring them all down. This is a story with an unusual beginning. Welcome to Biomutant. Encode your DNA. Define your genetic structure. Choose a genetic resilience. Choose your fur style. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. Pick up sense come dead come dead 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 come dead sense come dead come dead come dead come dead dead come sight come mercenary chosen. Pick up come dead come dead sense come dead sentinel saboteur chosen. That'll work. Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun. We're already at a but for you, it's not only a crossroad, but a choice. A reflection of your key, the primal energy that flows through everything.
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the dark side of you, your inner voice to be precise, an echo of the balance and consequence of your actions as you move forward.
So glad you realize who you really are. Let's keep to the bright and better path moving on.
You can't contradict yourself like that. You made the right choice to begin with. Why would you change your mind?
Because you...
But remember, this is just...
Right is always right. Stories of death and the bodies left behind. A reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others. Do you remember the beast that shattered your family, or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the Predator only grew stronger. Better make a run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story. This time, it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes. This time, I wasn't sure you would come back. The Predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the Tree of Life started to die. The oil sludges everywhere. To most, it only means death, but some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. You're not dead yet. Shot through. That's going to leave a mark. emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Great shot. Just be glad there's a rope. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right, but no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. That's not opening on its own. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Flash the slash. Chop, chop. That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives. He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why.
Ewe boboye yunuluaftula.
He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up.
Atu wamawa.
He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed.
Ewe boboye le yayato.
There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true.
Kotuvon ko konvunkono.
The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad.
Ka nuka nuburak koibe o korfabe.
The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past.
Tulua ba volua.
How Lupa Lupin somehow left you alive after his raid on the old village. He must have had a purpose with that. The question is, what?
Tamuk gabamuktab. Yatu yao mawa.
There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the end.
Tolidrea ya maoloa aya muaya.
He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back, but he's grateful you have.
Valu alu hirwa.
It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon the land.
Tolomawanya aya muaya. Poyubut paiketawa.
After the old village was destroyed and you disappeared, a struggle between the families erupted, and over time, the disciples turned against each other.
Mauketo tolu ayadr kim hobe bekuku hifad muk.
Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least remember the tree. Asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. Sounds like he thinks she does, despite your heart growing dark. There's nothing as powerful as a Muma's love. He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them, the potato people. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fueling its source of life. Magic? He claims it's just the force of life, the existence of energy, powering and connecting all things living, like the Nono. The Nono's key energy is just what the Pensai... You'll need a net to catch the Nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. The Nono... You handle that net like... He's grateful for all the help he can get. There's lots of Nono out there that need to be guided to the roots of the Pensai tree. Oh, it'll need a continuous flux of ki over the 12 months to come, so countless, he'd say. One day, he hopes the tree will have grown tall enough to sustain the world. But today, your focus is getting this one to become one with the tree. He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Mooma comes looking for you. You did good here today. That's not true. She's the reason there's still unity, and the only one strong enough to keep the 6 Wang Fu disciples disciplined.
Kim Hobe Bekuku Hifad Muk
We lost you there for a while, but
Ilya Antuf Kim Hobe Beku Yuba Dulluwawai.
the tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after that that the World Eaters arrived.
Mpa wherefore wewe atu awa ya ia.
The genetic evolution that occurred after the apocalypse that Toxanol Corporation inflicted on the land set the World Eaters' DNA into overdrive. His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Nocco has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast.
Ugambun ang ugagad yebromo wuf ilvov adu awa ya savoita mua oloi bo paweg.
He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree...
Tolu keta ya wawanawe ya moluwando.
His friends have prepared something specific for each World Eater. The Mekton, the Octopod, the Majute, and the Goo Glide are almost ready to ride.
Ya savoita mua tolu woya lo ya lo batolo yo.
Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the Tribe War.
To wawu.
You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Must be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves, but he worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life survives the attack. He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart.
Sana, Imasail, Trowele,
Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by your intentions.
Aurugo, Wavo, Iglesia Chao, so.
He's grateful for that. You still seem to have a spark of light in you.
That's a spark of light in you!
What's there to like about light? It hurts to look at.
Not as much as it hurts to look at you.
Always making this personal.
And you're always trying to pretend it's not.
There's out of date again. He must have missed something important.
Kuchai, Hifar, Befa, Papamorphobak, Maoya.
Regardless of who you choose, the Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way.
Waikatawa,
Out of
to Hawaii, come Reaper, Atu, Awa, Miami, Mpa.
another fork in the road.